Welcome back to Dunkirk Dunes. So this is Operation Viking, and I'm playing the U.S. and China, and this is turn one. And so here's U.S.'s purchase. Of course, they have 52. I'm going to spend 4 on tech. I'm going to spend 24 on 2 strategic bombers, 4 infantry for 12, and then a transport and an artillery for 11, and then I'm saving 1. And then for China, I've got 12 to spend, and the Burma Road is open, as you can see there. And so I'm going to take the opportunity of probably never come again, but I'm going to go ahead and buy a Chinese light tank and a Chinese artillery, and then a Chinese infantry. And the Chinese light tanks actually cost 5 rather than 6. There's the stats on the card 72 right there. They cost 5. They only defend at 2, though. So that's all 12 that I've spent. U.S. does not have any combat, of course, because they're not at war. But there's some non-combat things that we're going to do for U.S. Maybe I'll do all the U.S. stuff first, and then I'll do the China stuff. I think technically that's the way it's supposed to go. I think U.S. goes before China, if I remember right. But these 2 ships here, destroyer and submarine, that's in Sea Zone 35, they're leaving from a naval base. They're going to go 1, 2, 3 into Sea Zone 41. They're getting the heck out of there. Okay. So that takes care of that. And then let's see, other movements. So I'm going to start way over here. So this, the strategic bomber that starts out in central U.S., he's going to be an air transport. He's going to pick up the infantry that is there. And he's going to go ahead and fly 1 to western, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, he's going to land on Wake Island. And he's bringing, of course, the 1 infantry with him. Okay. So we've got 1 infantry there on Wake Island. This tactical bomber that's on the carrier in 10, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then also landing on Wake Island. This fighter in western U.S. leaving from an airbase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also landing on Wake Island. These ships here that start out off Hawaii in Sea Zone 26, they are going to set sail, leaving from a naval base. They're going on a world cruise down to Australia. So 1, 2, 3, down to Sea Zone 54. So that's the destroyer, the sub, the cruiser, and then the transport, doing the same thing. Transport's going to bring the 2 infantry from Hawaii, and they're just going to hang out there on the transport. They can't actually unload because I'm not technically allied yet with Commonwealth or anybody. Let's see. What else do we got here? So these ships here, so they're going to go 1, 2, 3 into Sea Zone 31. So that's going to be the cruiser, the battleship, the carrier, the destroyer, and the transport is going to just go to Hawaii. And he's going to bring from western U.S., he's going to bring an infantry and an artillery. Okay. One of these fighters from Hawaii is going to take off and land on the carrier that's there in 31. All right. And let's see. I think that about takes care of everything over here. Oh, let's see. So this tank is going to just drive over to Western US. And then, let's see. I'm going to have one of these mechs drive to Eastern, and two of the mechs are going to go ahead and drive over here to Western. Okay, and I think I've moved pretty much everything I intend to move. Okay, I think that basically does it. So maybe I'll do a quick recap on, well, let's go ahead and place our US units. So my factories are just miners to start out with here. And so in the west, I'm going to place one strategic bomber and two infantry. In the east, I'm going to build another, let's see, strategic bomber and an infantry. I might do this a little bit different here now that I'm thinking about it. So, yeah, because I want to, no, this would be okay. So, and then here, I'm going to build one artillery in central, and then off the central factory, I'm going to build my transport. So there, do I really want that there, though? Or do I want it over there? I'm going to actually do this differently. So instead of building the transport here in the central, I'm going to build this transport here on my western factory. But because I'm doing that, I can't build one of those guys there. So instead, I'm going to build this guy in central. And one of these guys that was already in eastern, I'm going to rail him over to western. Hopefully that all makes sense. I'm sorry, that's a little messy. So now let's do disposition of forces. So I think I haven't built anything over 3 on any of my factories. If I need to correct something, we can correct something. But here on Western, I have 3 infantry, 1 tank, 3 mechs, 1 strategic bomber, 2 anti-aircraft guns. C-Zone 10, I've got a transport. Hawaii, I've got an infantry, an artillery, and a fighter. C-Zone 26, I've got a transport. C-Zone 31, I've got a battleship, a carrier with 2 fighters on it, a cruiser, and a destroyer. On Wake Island, I have an infantry, an air transport, a tactical bomber, and a fighter. Down here in C-Zone 54, I have a cruiser, a destroyer, a submarine, and a transport loaded with 2 infantry. In the Philippines, I have 2 infantry and a fighter. Let's see. And then in C-Zone 41, I've got a destroyer and a submarine. And then going over to this eastern coast side, C-Zone 101, I've got a cruiser and a transport. Eastern US, I've got 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 mech, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 1 strategic bomber, 1 fighter. Central US, I've got an artillery and an infantry. And I think that is it. I'm not at war, so I don't get any NOs. I just collect the same old 52 that I had before. I did save one, and so what I'm going to end up with as a result is 53 for next time. Okay, so let's go ahead and do China real quick. So China's going to do two things. One is we're going to take a crazy pot shot. The 4 guys in Yunnan are going to go ahead and take a crack at all those planes there in Qingxi. There are 5 fighters and 3 tactical bombers. And I'm just hoping I might get a hit before I die in the first roll of defense. You never know. If I can trade 4 Chinese infantry for 1 Japanese plane, to me that's an okay trade. I may get nothing though. We'll see. And then the other battle here in Chahar. So 2 guys from Suian, and then my 3 cavalry from Shenxi are going to run through there. They can move 2. And then my fighter from Sichuan is going to go 1, 2, 3. He'll have 1 left. He's going to have to land in Suian, assuming he survives. So let's go ahead and roll these 2 little battles that we've got. So let's do the crazy one first. So I've got here 4 blacks against a whole bunch of stuff on defense. I'm just hoping to get something. Here's hoping I get something. Here we go. Okay, I got 1 hit. That's nice. I got 1 hit. Okay, on defense, he has, like I said, 5 fighters, 3 tacticals. I'm sure he's going to get 4 hits here. Okay, I'm dead. More than dead. But I did get 1 plane, and Chaplain said to take a fighter. So that's 1 Chinese fighter out of there. And thank you for your sacrifice, Chinese guys. Okay. Now the Chahar battle up there. So this one's a little more interesting. Pretty even battle. So I've got 2 blacks, 2 at 1. I'm just using Grasshopper's battle dice. And then I've got 3 cavalry, so that's 3 at 2. And then I've got my fighter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. I need 4 hits. Wow, I only got 1 hit out of all that. That's pretty crappy. So we're going to hit an infantry there, but before he dies, they have 4 at 2, because they have 2 infantry and artillery and a mech. So 4 at 2, here's the defense. Wow, they got 3 hits. Okay. So I'm going to take my 2 guys, and I think I'm going to go ahead and take one of those cavalry. I think I'm going to keep going. I'm going to chance that he's not going to get 3 hits out of 3. So I have 2 2s and a 3. I'm hoping for something good. Wow, I got nothing. Okay, he's got 3 2s. There we go. Defense. He got nothing. Okay, I'm going to do it again. So 2 2s and a 3 on attack. I got 2 hits. Okay, so I don't know if he would take the artillery or the mech. Certainly he's going to take the infantry. Chaplain, you can always change it if I'm wrong, but I'm going to assume that you're going to take the mech. But if you would rather take the artillery, definitely go ahead and do that. So now we've got defense is still 3 at 2. Let's see what happens. Okay, he blanked. There's nothing. All right, I might actually come out of this. So I've got my 2 2s and my 3. Okay, I just need 1 more hit. I got it. Okay. So then he's got 1 2 at defense for the artillery. And he missed. Okay. Wow. Well, that was scary for a minute, but it turned out pretty dang good. Plane has to go back and land in Suian. Okay. and what we're going to be left with. So we took back Chahar. That's worth 1, so I'm going to slide Japan down to 28. I'm going to move China up to 10. And now it's just if I have any non-combat that I want to do, I'm going to pull one guy back from Quichao into Sichuan. And I think I'm just now going to go ahead and place my units. So my light tank, I have to place it in Sichuan. The artillery I can actually place anywhere I want. And I think I might go ahead and place it there in Shenxi. And then my other infantry, where do I want to place him? I might just place him up here in Suiyuan. Okay, so disposition of forces. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry in Sichuan and a Chinese light tank. I've got 1 infantry in Quichao, an infantry and an artillery in Shenxi. I've got infantry and a fighter in Suiyuan, and then I've got 2 cavalry in Chahar. And China is on 10 on the income tracker, plus the Burma Road is open, so they're going to get a bonus of 6. So they're going to have 16. 16. I can actually do that with my fun experimental chips here. So 10. I only have a few of these experimental chips, but there we go. So that's 16 for China for next time. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. On to Julius for UK.